this is this week's 45-minute flow. It's going to be all about legs and strength today. So that's your pre-warning. So just go through the basics. If you've got any injuries, then I would recommend not doing this session. If you're not sure, you can always reach out. And if there's anything that feels uncomfortable or painful during the session, then please just stop. Remember, we should never be in pain. Alternatives will be offered throughout, so just listen closely. We're going to start with our relaxation first. So I've got a block and a cushion. You don't have to have either. If you want to, you could sit on a block, or if you've got a hardback book, that's just as good. And that just takes the pressure out your lower back. I'm sitting in Sukhanasana, easy pose. And you can either sit like this, or if this is uncomfortable, you can have your legs extended in front, knees bent, whatever feels right for you. So, first things first, we'll talk about our breath. We're going to be doing Ujjayi breath, which is that nasal breath that we do in through the nose, down to the chest, down to the pit of the belly, and then we're going to be letting that breath all the way back up and out through the nose. So, take your hands onto your thighs, palms facing up towards the universe, the sky if you can. If you're comfortable, close your eyes, but if you're not comfortable closing your eyes, then please just either look down towards the floor, or maybe light a candle, or have something in your room that you feel you can focus on whilst we do our little bit of meditation and relaxation at the beginning. So we're taking nice long deep breaths in through the nose, into the chest, down to the pit of the belly, then letting that breath come all the way back up and out through the nose. So that may be different to how you normally breathe, but just have a go. There's no pace to the breath. I want you to just breathe at a pace that is comfortable to you. So now, as you're getting comfortable with that breath, I want you to take a mental scan of your body. How does it feel, and is there anywhere where you're holding on to maybe tension, pain, stress, worry? I'd like you to take your breath to that point and just let it relax there for a moment. So just hold the breath in that point for a moment and then let it release. Let's do that a few times. This is your opportunity to just let go of any worries or stresses. Take your time with it. Take your breath to the point. And as you exhale, let go of any negativity, any worry, any pain, any stress. Now, as you focus on just breathing in and breathing out, that Ujjayi breath, I'm just going to read you something. Meet me in the soft place, where the essence of things reveal itself, where kindness was birthed from a need to not feel alone in this world. Meet me in the soft place, where the sun-warmed grass receives you with open arms, where the mother raccoon takes her babies at night, knowing no creature will bother them, where there are no knives to cut words that bleed, or fear of what happens when our inner darkness is revealed, where you feel safe to take off the bandages and reveal inner wounds, and I show you mine. Meet me in the soft place. where your footprints leave imprints in the sand, where we reach out with our hands and draw pictures and initials in hearts. Meet me in the soft place and realize we are the same. Nameless love. Now very gently bring your focus into your mind, into your body. Take your hands into prayer and take a moment to focus on your intention or dedication for this session. Is there someone you feel who maybe needs a little bit of healing, a little bit of love with your energy? Or maybe you just want to be present on the mat. Maybe you just want to be more supple. Whatever comes to your mind, just take a moment to focus. Now take your hands back down to your thighs with your palms facing up and release that intention, dedication up into the universe. Feel it floating up out of your hands, up into the sky, out into the ether. Free and out there. Take your hands back together in prayer and drop your chin to your chest. If you're wearing glasses, pop them on top of your head or just to the side. And let's just rub the hands together nice and fast, building up warmth. And when they feel nice and warm, place them over your closed eyes. Open your eyes into your hands. Gently open your fingertips and gently let the hands come away. We're going to start in Balasana, child's pose. So let us come over onto our knees. Now remember, we can always use our block, or we can place a cushion in between the bottom and the thighs, the bottom and the heels if we need to. If we are quite large in the chest, it's sometimes it's sometimes worth taking your knees slightly wider than your hips. Hands by your side, core nice and strong. Take a deep breath. As exhale, let's come down. Now we can use maybe our block or our hardback book if we need to rest the forehead onto the head, not drop into the floor. Hands are just resting by the sides of the ankles. And I just want you to hold it here in Balasana for a few moments. This is a restorative pose before we begin to actively energize and strengthen the legs and the core. So I want you to just focus on that ujjayi breath, that nasal breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose for me. Allowing your chest and heart to settle and open. So this is a really nice posture, which obviously, as I mentioned, it's a healing posture. It's also like releasing for the root chakra, the very base of the body, where our stability comes from, our foundations. Now I want you to change your breath just slightly, breathing in through the nose, and I want you to breathe out from the back of the throat. So it's a 2 more. Last one. And then go back to that ujjayi breath, that nasal breath. Now from Balasana, that child's pose, we are going to transition into Adho Mukha Shavasana, which is our down dog position. It's really nice for releasing the whole of the body in a number of different ways, because it's stretching so many places. So right now we're stretching into the glutes and the lower back, opening up our heart center. When we go into Adho Mukha Shavasana, we're going to be releasing the whole of the lower back, the hamstrings, the calves, the shoulders, we're activating a lot of muscles as well. So let us bring one hand by the head, then the opposite hand by the head. Core, I'd like you to engage your pelvic floor from the back of the bottom all the way around. So from that base, that top of the crease line, round to the middle, round to the front, contract, and then take your focus into your navel, begin to draw it into the spine. So we've got some tension, but you can breathe comfortably and move comfortably. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, lift the chest, head looks forward. Now very gently, if you had got a cushion in between there, just remove it and pop it to the side. The block wants to come to the side. The hands are going to come just in front of the shoulders, coming onto all fours, knees beneath the hips, toes tucked under. So my hands are just slightly in front. My fingers are spread out nice and wide, so they're nice and stable. And remember, we want the C shape of the hand. So the palm of the hand is like a C shape. We want that, sorry, leggings adjustment there. We want that to be firmly in place with the floor. So we've got nice deep roots into the floor. So fingers spread out, shoulder blades relaxed, tailbone to the back of the room, join the shoulder blades slightly together, core engaged, take a deep breath. As you exhale, push up into down dog. Now this is your moment to be proud of your bum. It is pushing up towards the sky, up to space like a rocket. The heels are pushing down towards the floor, but if they're not quite there, that's absolutely fine. The head is relaxed between the arms, and with blood in the shoulder blades draw together. Our feet should be hip distance apart, but if they need to be a little bit wider anatomically because it's more comfortable, then that's absolutely fine. I want you to just stay in this position for me. Whilst you're in down dog position, you're breathing nice long deep breaths in and out. And with each exhalation, we're aiming to push those heels a little bit lower if we can, but don't worry if they're not quite there. The other thing that can make a difference as well is depending on the time of day. I know, like when it's first thing in the morning, there's not a chance my heels are going to want to be near the floor, so they get better as it goes through the day and my body warms up. So let's just have running Adho Mukha Shavasana. So running dog, bending the knees, pushing the opposing heel down, bringing some energy and warmth into the legs. And then let's push both heels down, taking a deep breath. As we exhale, we're going to come back into Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep your knees bent, hands walk back. I'd like you to just hang in this position for me. So as we hang, knees are soft, feet are hip distance apart, arms are just hanging. Excuse me. Pelvic floor is still engaged, core's nice and strong. Can we take the right hand to the right elbow and left elbow to left elbow? Left hand to left elbow, and just hang. So you're cradling. Can we begin to sway from the hips, side to side? Now we never bounce, but we can sway because that's going to let the muscles find their own pathway to take you deeper. And we breathe. And we exhale. Nice and steady. And then let the hands hang back. Now we're going to slowly roll up, but it's really important that as we roll, that the knees stay soft and that we stack the spine sequentially. So let us take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let's begin to tuck the tailbone under, slowly tucking the tailbone. The shoulders are going to roll up, head's going to come up last. It's the heaviest part of the body. Stacking the spine, one at a time. Slowly coming up and slowly standing in Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So I'm going to come slightly forward. In that mountain pose, bring your feet together for me. In fact, I'm going to turn to face you. So feet together, tailbone tucked under, shoulder blades back and down, core engaged. So we're nice and strong. And I want you to lift your toes up, and then I want you to spread them out and place them back down. Shoulder blades are resting in those back pockets. And we're just firmly holding in Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So stable, it's about strength and strong. Whilst you're in this position, I'd like you to contract your bum. So you contract the glutes nice and tight, contract the thighs. As if the glutes are trying to kiss one another. So it's getting really tight and firm in the bum. Shoulder blades back and down. And then let the thighs relax, let the glutes relax. Let's do that one more time. So really bringing in a contraction into the thighs, into the thighs, into the glutes. So if you do the Pilates session, you do that gluteal bracing, we're kind of doing that in Tadasana mountain pose. And then relax, relax. So nice and steady. We're now going to step out our legs nice and wide. So when I say nice and wide, that's much wider than hip distance apart. Okay, so legs are nice and wide, and when we look down, we want to see that our toes are level and the heels are level. It's much easier to look at the toes and see that they're level than it is the heels. So tailbones tucked under, shoulder blades are back and down. I've got that nice strong connection going on in my pelvic floor. I'm going to turn my right foot towards the right wall. As I do so, my hips rotate, and that's okay. I pull them back. I gently bend my knee, and I have a look and I check that my toes, my knee is not surpassing my toes. If I can't see my toes, then I'm going to need to take my legs much wider. So, coming back, straighten out, rotate, palms out, turn the palms down, arms are just shoulder height. We take a deep breath. We exhale into warrior two. Virabhadrasana. So, hips, there's going to be some slight rotation. We're pulling it back as much as we can, but don't worry too much. The most important thing is that your chest is facing forward, so we don't want the chest rounding and going forward. Palms are facing down. When we go deeper, we take a deep breath, and we go deeper with our lower body. So it's not like we're surfing, the upper body's not tipping, it's nice and strong. So when we look for, when you know, an error that generally comes in Virabhadrasana, is that usually people start to do this. So they start to tip their upper body, and we don't want that. We want to keep the upper body nice and strong. Take a deep breath, go deeper and hold. Now we can stay here, or we can progress a little bit further. We can take this arm, we can rest it onto the thigh, and we can reach up. Now we want our shoulders to be directly above one another, and hold it there. So nice and strong, core engaged. Now the eyes could be looking forward, or we can challenge our balance further by looking up. Now from here, we are going to go into Sun Warrior. So we're going to take a deep breath. As we exhale, this backhand comes to the back thigh, front arm comes up. We're now looking up to that arm, and we're pushing into that knee still at the front. Hold it there. So you're going to feel it along the inner thigh on the back, and you're going to feel it along that inner thigh on the front. We take a deep breath. Can we push that a little bit more and hold it there? Oh, take a deep breath. Exhale, straighten. Turn that foot in. Turn the opposite foot to the left. Turn that back foot by about 30 degrees. Check if we bend the knee that we can still see our toes. Hips rotate forward. Excuse me, having a leggings adjustment there. Arms come up, shoulder height, palms are down towards the floor. We take a deep breath. As we exhale, we come up deeper without falling over. Try and keep the chest facing forward. Head's going to look towards the arm of the bent knee. We take it there. Go deeper and hold. And again, let's take a deep breath. And again. Now, if we want to progress, we take a deep breath, we bring the hand to the thigh, and we reach up. Hold it there. We want to have our shoulders directly above one another, and hold it there nice and strong. Or we could be looking up. From here we go Sun Warrior. We take our hand down behind us and we reach up, pushing into that front knee, back hand resting on the thigh, but still pulling those shoulder blades back and down into the back pocket. Core and pelvic floor engaged. Taking a deep breath. Ouch, go deeper. That was just, I I've started moving my broken toe, and I don't do it on purpose. It just suddenly, it'll like move, and then I'll be like, oh, nice and steady. Hold it. Hold it. Push in deep. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Come back. Turn it in. Very gently walk your feet in. We're moving on to our balance. So, feet together. Bring your hands across your chest. We are going to go for half moon. But if you're not comfortable in half moon, I'm going to show you two transitions. So we could go to willow tree, or you can come fully down into half moon. Now, what I would suggest is if you're a bit nervous with half moon, you've got options, okay? So we could use our block as a support, or I'm just going to grab, because I've got one to hand, or you could use a stool, okay? So I will demonstrate with both as we go. So let's do the first bit together, because we can all come into willow tree, and then you can make a decision as to whether you want to transition further into that half moon. So we're stood in the middle, we've got our block or our hardback book at the other end, or our stool or chair, so you can use that. Bring your hands across your chest. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, turn your feet out like Mary Poppins. Step with your right foot forward, bending the knee. As you do so, the opposite leg straightens out. Big toe is still on the floor. We can keep it there. Arms come out. I'm just going to step back a bit because my wall's in the way. Arms come out into a V shape. Chest is forward. So it's really important that you're not twisting and rotating. Big toe on the floor, or we lift it off the floor. We hold it here. So this is the first part of our balance. Now we can stay in this position, or we can advance it further. So regardless of what position you're in, big toe on the floor, big toe floating, core should be engaged, chest is open. If we're going to transfer to half moon, we can bend the knee, slowly come down. We can use our block as a support, straighten the leg, straighten the arm, head looks forward, and we hold. Now if you had your stool or chair, you would rest your hand on the leg or chair, on the chair seat, and you would use that and hold. Core is engaged. Breathing nice and steady. Take a deep breath. When you finish, you bend the knee, you slowly, slowly come back up. Hands come across the chest, the legs are already going to be wide. I'm going to move that out to the side slightly, but I'll use the chair this side, stool this time, so you can see what I mean. So let's go willow tree. So take a deep breath. As we exhale, coming up. Oh, I can just rest my big toe on there. So chest open, or I could be resting my big toe on the floor. It's whatever feels right. I know I'm cheating. So nice and steady. I'm on my bad foot now. So we could stay in willow tree. It's tiring, it's challenging. Or we could come to our half moon, and again, we could use our chair. Head can be looking forward, or we can rotate to the side. We're just going to look, if we're looking up, rotation, that's going to make our balance more challenging. So holding it there. So nice and strong. In Adras Chadrasana. Didn't mean to sing it, just kind of happened there, so sorry. I'm sorry for your ears. Hold it nice and strong. When you're ready, bend the supporting knee. Bring it back. We're moving back down onto the floor. Well done. Let me get rid of this stool. So, nice and steady. Come to the end of your mat and stand your feet together. Tadasana, that mountain pose again for me. Shoulder blades back and down. Let's inhale up and let's exhale down. Bending the knees, hands to the thighs. Straighten for a moment, let the head look forward and then bend and come all the way down. Keeping the knees bent. Let the head relax and hold that position for me. Excuse me. So just hang in there for a moment. Let us take a deep breath As you exhale, let's walk it back down. We're coming back down into that child's pose again. So that restorative pose. Remember, you can put a cushion in. You can have a block to rest your head on. We're aiming to bring the head at the bottom towards the heels. But remember, it doesn't matter if it's not there. We can have the knees a little bit wider. And we just rest here for a few moments. So let's again go back to that breath, the B breath, as we call it in yoga. So we're going to breathe in through our nose and breathe out from the back of the throat. 4 more for me. Last 2. Last 1. So just relaxing for a few moments in this restorative position, releasing into the lower back. Balasana, nice and steady, hold it there. And then we're going to open up the hips a little bit. So just breathe in, being still and being at peace for a moment. So we've had some strong leg strength there and balance. You did amazing. So now take a deep breath. As you exhale, one hand by the front of the knee, then the other. Core engaged, pelvic floor engaged. Lift up. Pop your block to the side or your cushion if you was using it. You're going to come over to face the front. I think we might have done this last week. I can't remember, but we're going to do frog again because it's so good for opening up the hips and pelvis. So I want you to take your knees nice and wide, okay? So that's wider than hips, hip distance. Turn your feet out. Now remember, if turning the feet out feels too much on your knees, then have them facing behind you and just have the shoelaces down. That's absolutely fine. So come down onto your forearms, hands interlock, eyes and nose looking down. I don't want you to just drop and flop the head. I want you to keep some stability and strength in the neck. So the eyes and nose are looking down, pelvic floors engaged, abdominal belts engaged. Let's take a deep breath. As exhale, let's begin to push back. Ooh, nice and steady. Pushing back. And just go as far as it feels right for you. So you want to be feeling that inner thigh stretch. It's opening up the hips and pelvis. Core's nice and strong. Taking a deep breath. Push that a little bit more if you can. Take a deep breath. And again, deep breath, push back. Each time feeling that stretch a little bit more if you can in the hips and pelvis. So you're pushing your bum back and down, tailbone under. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, gently, gently come forward. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sometimes it's worse coming out. Gently come up onto the hands, toes come in, walk them in, come over onto your bottom for me. So remember, if you have lower back issues, you can sit on your lower back, on your block if you so wish. You don't have to for this next bit. So sitting nice and comfortably, I want you to take your right foot and if you can, place it on top of the thigh. Now, if that's not possible, that's fine. Just sit cross-legged in Sukhanasana. What you can do is we can always place cushions, blocks underneath to aid you in that posture. Now, what it's also challenging in this is in your foot because there's got to be foot flexibility for you to be able to do Skanasana, which is that lotus position, because it's not, it's not normal. We don't sit generally like this most of the time, maybe young children, but we don't. So hold in that position, tailbone under, shoulder blades back and down, hands on the thighs, take a deep breath, and as you exhale, let us just forward fold. But as we forward fold, we're not curling in, Shoulder blades are staying in those back pockets the whole time. We're not dropping the chin to the chest. Eyes are looking forward. Holding it there. Keeping those hands on those thighs. Nice and steady. Hold it. Using our breath. So now let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let's slowly come up. It's very gently, just release that leg, and we need to do the same on the other side. So if you were sat cross-legged, you just cross your legs in the opposite direction. Otherwise, you bring that foot into half lotus on the opposite side. Sitting nice and tall, shoulder blades back and down, hands on the front of the thighs again. Core nice and strong, tailbone tucked under. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale, begin to forward fold. Just adjusting, I can't get my leg comfortable today. So we're coming forward as far as feels right, making sure to not curl the body over, lengthening all the time. We want to walk out the room taller. So very gently take a deep breath. Come up. Nice and steady. Ready to move into our relaxation. So we can have our block or a cushion at the end, so we can come into Shavasana corpse position, but you can do this upright or seated if you so wish. So if you're coming down into corpse position, let me just guide you. So remember, we've got two ways. We can either just roll onto our side, come down, and then let the arms and legs extend. Or if we feel strong in our core, feet hip distance apart, core engaged, curl the spine, chin tucks in, and gently roll down. Now, Shavasana it's a restorative pose, and it's got so much power in it, because when we just lay palms facing up to the universe, ankles falling out, and just be present for a moment in our body, this is actually a really just powerful pose to just take time out, just to take a moment. Where am I? What's going on? So I want you, if you can, to be in Shavasana corpse pose. If it's uncomfortable on your lower back, you can always bend your knees or put a cushion or roll a towel underneath your knees and then extend them out. That's fine. I'm going to do this in Sukhanasana in seated pose just because it's easier for me while I'm reading to you and so forth. So in Shavasana, corpse pose, nice and steady, breathing nice and deep. I want you to just, if you're comfortable, close your eyes. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, then please just find something to focus your eyes on the ceiling, if you're laid down, and just try and focus on that. Otherwise, let's close our eyes, let's breathe nice and deep, and let us just take our focus on our breath. So we're breathing in through our nose, just as we have been through the session, that Ujjayi breath, down into the chest, down into the pit of the belly, and then slowly letting that breath come all the way back up and down. So breathing in, breathing out. So this is your opportunity to let go of any tension that may have stayed with us whilst we were still in our session, even after the first bit of relaxation and meditation. This is your opportunity to just let that go a little bit more if you can. We're taking nice long deep breaths in and out. Let us take a mental scan again of our body and just see if there's anywhere where we're still holding on to tension, pain, stress, or worry. like you, as you're taking those long, deep breaths, I'd like you to take that breath down to your toes. So just feel that breath traveling all the way down to your toes, feeling up your toes and your feet, your ankles. And with each breath, each time you take it down, you feel it begin to fill up the ankles, the calves, to the knees. Just filling the body and saturating the body with lots of oxygen. When we've got plenty of oxygen in our body, it allows us to function far more effectively. So just enjoy taking those long, deep breaths in and out, in and out. I want you to, if you can, just imagine in your mind's eye that you were just standing at the edge of a beautiful meadow. And the meadow in front of you, the grass is long and wild, and there's random poppies, red, vibrant poppies, lavender, random flowers that are just growing in this beautiful wild meadow. The sky is blue, but there's plenty of fluffy white clouds. You feel warm, you feel safe, you feel as if the sun is caressing you and your body. You close your eyes in this beautiful surrounding and inhale the smell of the natural air, the smell of nature, of soil and wildflowers. As you look around you, you notice bees flying occasionally, dipping themselves into the wildflowers, collecting pollen. You notice beautiful butterflies of all different shades and colours flying around. And at the end of the meadow is a little spinny, little group of trees, beautiful trees, birch trees, silver birch. And you just begin to wander through this beautiful meadow. As you look down to your feet, you notice you're wearing your most comfortable pair of shoes. And your feet feel safe and warm, snuggled in the most comfortable pair of shoes that you have. With each step, the soil, the grass is just soft and tender, so you can just feel as if you're walking on a bed of cushions almost as you wander towards this beautiful little spinny of trees. Your shoulders are relaxed, and you notice that as you're stepping through and wandering through this beautiful field, that with each step your shoulders are becoming lighter and freer. You're feeling much more relaxed and at ease. It's as if with each step you take, you're letting go of luggage, emotion, strain or pain that you may have been holding on to that you know right now doesn't serve you, not in this place that is just for you. The corners of your mouth begin to lift as you smile, feeling content and happy and safe in this place, this beautiful place. And suddenly, before you know it, you're in front of this little group of silver birch trees. There's bluebells all around, and you notice in the center of this group of trees, there's a blanket and some cushions. It looks so inviting and cozy that you wander towards and lay yourself down. And as you lay yourself down upon this comfortable blanket, and cushion, you realise that you are surrounded by the most beautiful bluebells, so many different shades of purple and indigo and violet. And the silver birch trees, their leaves are lush, and you can feel the warmth of the sun shining down into and onto your body. You feel the sun recharging you and warming you up. You lay there and you take your breath into your toes, into your feet, into your calves, your ankles, your knees, your thighs, your glutes, your hips and pelvis, all along your spine, across your chest, down your arms, all around your body. Refueling, recharging, reviving, refreshing. And just as you lay there, I'll just read you one more time. Meet me in the soft place, where the essence of things reveal itself, where kindness was birthed from a need to not feel alone in this world. Meet me in the soft place, where the sun warmed grass receives you with open arms, where the mother raccoon takes her babies at night, knowing no creature will bother them, where there are no knives that cut, words that bleed, or fear of what happens when our inner darkness is revealed, where you feel safe to take off the bandages and reveal inner wounds, and I show you mine. Meet me in the soft place, where your footprints leave imprints in the sand, where we reach out with our hands and draw pictures and initials in hearts. Meet me in the soft place. And realize we are the same. Nameless love. Very gently bring yourself back from that beautiful little group of trees and that blanket and cushion. Surrounded by bluebells, bring yourself back to wherever you are. Eyes are closed, breathing is deep. Give your toes a wiggle. Give your fingers a wiggle. Give your nose a wiggle. Even screw up your face really tight. And then let it relax. Very gently bend your knees if they're not already bent. And gently pull them towards the chest, lifting them off the floor, wrapping your arms around them, giving them a little hug. Giving yourself a little hug just for a moment. Gently sway a little bit side to side. And then gently roll to one side where you feel most comfortable. Allow yourself to relax there for a moment. And take a moment to just reflect on your intention or dedication. Give yourself a moment of appreciation. A moment of thanks for setting an intention or dedication. Give yourself a moment of gratitude for taking time out for you today to come and do this session. Very gently, eyes still closed, roll yourself up. Roll yourself onto your side and then roll yourself up to a comfortable seated position. If you're wearing glasses, pop them to the side and very gently bring your hands in prayer. Let's rub them together nice and fast. And then very gently put your hands over your eyes, open your eyes into your hands, open your fingertips, let the hands come away. Bring your hands in prayer. Namaste. Well done. And I hope you didn't hear the child screaming towards the end of the relaxation. I think my husband and Livy decided to have a game of hide and seek, I don't know. I immediately heard the scream and then heard Pete realising what he'd done and was like, shh. So apologies if that interrupted your meditation. Hopefully you didn't hear it. So well done, and I'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye.